Hello you guys. I asked on my Instagram stories for you to give me your questions and I would jump on here and answer as much as I can. So I have them right here and I'm gonna be answering as much as I can right now. Let's see. It says, got any plans or trips canceled because of COVID? Yes, I had a family cruise scheduled for next month with my family. It was like 30 of us. And we had to cancel that because of the uncertainty. We didn't know how long the whole COVID thing was gonna, keep us home. So yes, that got canceled. 5 Harry Potter Funko Pops that you hope are made by Funko. I think Molly and Arthur Weasley are a must. I don't understand why they have taken so long. I want Madame Hooch. I want Professor Sprout. I would love to have a Fluffy, like 3-headed dog that Hagrid had. I don't understand. It's such a beautiful creature. Why don't we have it yet? When did you start collecting? I started collecting in 2018. I bought my first Pops in 2016. So almost 4 years, but like hardcore collecting, keeping it all together, 2018, the summer of 2018. Let me see. Do you have Mr. Bean? No, I collect only Disney and Harry Potter. I used to collect Marvel, and I still have some Iron Man, Guardian of the Galaxy, and Hulk Pops, and Thor. I still have a couple of Marvel Pops. They sit upstairs in my husband's desk, but we don't actively collect them anymore. We have been thinking if we do, my husband's gonna redo his own office, and he gave me the green light to, decorate. I love to decorate. I love to mix the Pops with different accessories and replicas. So if he redoes his office, I'm probably gonna do a lot of Iron Man, like a little shrine for Iron Man. I don't know, thinking about it. Got a couple of replicas in mind. But yeah, only Harry Potter and Disney right now. ¿Cuál es la película de Harry Potter que menos disfrutas y por qué? I think the question, it was in Spanish. What's the movie that I enjoyed the least? I think it's Order of the Phoenix. I just hate Umbridge and pisses me off when she physically harmed students. It's just, as a mom, it pisses me off. I don't know. I think that's the one that pisses me off the most. And the answer in Spanish, Order del Phoenix. No me gusta cuando ella le hace daño a los estudiantes y los hace prácticamente sangrar como castigo. Y me molesta esa película. La veo y me encojono. Me molesto. So yeah. Pops flocked in the box or out? For Disney, I keep all my Pops out of the box, even the flocked ones, and if the kids play with them, they get dirty and nasty. But for Harry Potter, as you can see down here, I have my flocked Pops. They are all in their box, and yes, that's how they stay in the box. I have one box big outside the box and one inside the box. Let me see, what else do we have here? It says, how did you and your husband meet? We met in college. He was in his last year and I was on my first. There's a little of an age gap between us. What made you get into the wizarding world? My dad used to love the Harry Potter movies, and we had a tradition in which the first one came out and we watched it together in the movie theater. But then when the second one came out, I remember we watched the first one before we went to see the second one, and then when the third one came out, we had like a mini marathon in which we watched the first one and the second one, and then we went to the movie theater, and that went on. And I used to love when a new movie would come out because we would watch all the others before going, and you always catch new details when you watch the movies again and again. And it was like our tradition, and to this day, we, like once a year, we just sit and watch the movies together, and it's a cool thing to share with your parents. I don't know, my mom doesn't care much about it, but my dad likes it, and he knows the details, and it's nice. It was my dad who got me into it. Let me see, when did you start collecting and what's your Grail? My Grail, I think I love Pinocchio. That's more of my favorite. I don't know about Grail. It's such a personal thing, which Pop you value the most. I love Pinocchio. It's my son. It was my son's favorite movie for a while, and I think it's such a good, well-made pop, the original one. Grail. I think dog with the chain of the cone of shame. It's a very expensive one, and the one that I value a lot because my husband got it for me. So there's that. Let me see what other questions I have here. Funko que te gustaría que hicieran. Tarzán. A mí me encanta la película de Tarzán, me encanta su música y no entiendo por qué no tenemos pops todavía de la película de Tarzán. So the question was Funko Pops you would like to see made. And I already mentioned the Harry Potter ones, but Disney, I would love to see Tarzan pops. ¿Qué pop de Disney sent to wishlist? I used to have King Candy and the original Jafar, and when I purchased my collection last year or the year before that, those were two of the ones that I sold forward. And I think my Aladdin line is missing the original Jafar, and my Wreck-It Ralph is missing King Candy. So those are two pops, Disney pops, are on my wish list right now. And I'll eventually get them again. It's just that I've been very focused on Harry Potter, as you guys can see. And when I focus on completing a project, I laser focus. So it's being my priority, and I eventually will get back to finishing Disney. But Disney felt really finished for a while. So I try not to focus on too many fandoms at the same time. I just do one thing at a time. Let me see. How does your husband feel about all the pops? I used to collect pottery. I'm always been a collector, so I always collect different stuff. And I used to collect pottery before I started collecting pops. I actually sold all my pottery and like went straight into pops. And I think he was sick and tired of the pottery. So pops, since I used to collect marble, I used to include him too. And he would go hunting with me, and he would like check the value of this pop. So it's something he enjoyed more. Obviously had superheroes on it, and he likes Harry Potter too, and he likes Disney too. So I think pops, and he saw that the community had more variety. Like, there are so many kind people in this community, and we are, you know, guys, girls, it's all kind of different. Pottery, it was more like women, all women, and it was like different. There was a lot of friction over pottery. So we do have friction over pops and bots and, you know, second market. Yes, but you still see a lot much more kindness in the Funko Pop community, and he saw that I was actually enjoying my time hunting and collecting, and I think he saw that and he liked it. He has no problem with me collecting pops. He obviously is like, oh my god, what are those 10 packages doing outside the door? But I guess that's normal. But he doesn't mind it. He likes that I enjoy this hobby, and he supports that. Next question, favorite Harry Potter pop? I love Professor Trelawney, and I love Dobby, 10-inch Dobby. I think the detail with the sock, it's a very cute pop. And I think it was one of the first ones that I got in 2018 when I decided like to collect them all. Because I bought, back in 2016, I bought a lot of Harry Potter pops. They were to decorate my baby's nursery. I had them with the books. So it wasn't like to collect them in my collection or collect them per se. So Dobby 10-inch was one of the first Harry Potter pops that I got when I decided to collect them. So I love him. Let me see, what is the most you have spent on a pop? And this is to answer to what is like the most expensive pop that I have. This one. I spent 160 or 165 the first time I bought him, and then 2 years went by, and I was moving my shelves, and I should have got him down from the shelves and put him in somewhere safe, but I was on a hurry and I made the mistake of moving the shelf while he was on top. He fell, broke in 1,000 pieces. I might have cried a little bit. So I bought him again, and again paid like $150. He's valued at $300, but I don't know. I was able to score him for 150, 160. So that's the pop that I have spent the most, and that's the most expensive pop. That's my limit. My husband spent 160 on dog with the cone of shame, and I think that's the most I will go for a pop. I know there are a lot of Grails and $2,000 pops, and again, I enjoy collecting. It's not about value, but I also have a mortgage and 3 kids. So I think 160 is my limit for one pop. I wouldn't spend that again. Like, I think you can enjoy the character that you have in your collection without spending so much on one collectible or toy or piece of plastic, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. Did you ever think when you first started collecting you would be this popular? I don't think I'm that popular. Never. I thought I was gonna have thousands of people here enjoying collecting with me. I love all of you and I appreciate you being here. But no, I never thought people were gonna love the shelves as much as you guys do. And I think changing my collection into those white shelves almost 3 years ago was what made people, you know, wow, they start organizing. And I love rearranging and displaying. I think it's the displays what bring people to my page, and I love displaying and arranging and taking pictures of my collection for you all. So thank you for being here. Let me see. Where did you get the Alice in Wonderland teacup? I got it from the Funko shop when it first came out. It sold out like in 2 minutes. I put my address wrong 3 times. So the fact that I was able to get it was a miracle. It sold out real fast, and now it's only available on the second market. You can get it on eBay, Mercari, OfferUp, check your Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, it's one of those pops that unfortunately it won't be available in stores. That's why you won't be able to find it anywhere or any online shop. And if you see an online shop offering him for retail, it's probably a scam. Do not go for it. Let me see. Was it hard to just focus on Disney and Harry Potter since you sold your Marvel pops? It wasn't hard because, I have kept collecting. It's not like I took myself out of the game. And I have tried to be like, this is what I have in my collection. And I love collecting. I love buying stuff. Online shopping is my love language. But it wasn't hard to focus. Again, I see pops that are not Disney or Harry Potter and even Marvel that I say, those are cool. Those remind me of my childhood. I like them. But your bank account only goes so far. So you have to, for me, it was a matter of, I'm gonna keep collecting those lines, and I go hard on Disney and Harry Potter. So I still enjoy collecting. It's just, for me, it's about focusing on completing the lines that I do have instead of being all over the place. I feel if you try to collect a lot of lines at the same time, you end up with a mix of pops. And I've seen collections that have a mix of 1,000 different lines and they look great. I'm not saying anything negative about those. But for me, I like to have order in my collection. I like to be able to enjoy certain lines or certain movies at a time. And I put my pops by movies. Some people put them by number or by size. I like to have some order. And I think that's what made it easy for me to just focus on Disney and Harry Potter. Have you ever seen Star Wars? If so, have you ever thought about collecting Star Wars Funko Pops? I did. I bought maybe like 20 Star Wars Pops 2 years ago. I thought about collecting it, but there again, I like to complete lines. And if I would have gone down that rabbit hole, it would have been awful because I would have needed a lot of shelves for that. My husband loves Star Wars, but I don't love it to the point that I know the characters. So it would have been something that I don't know, it wouldn't have been authentic, if that makes sense. Because it's not a line that I adore, like to collect it all. I think my husband would have loved that because he loves Star Wars. I have seen all the movies because he loves Star Wars, but I don't. So, and since I'm the one collecting, you know, it wasn't something that it was on my path to follow. But yeah, I thought about it. I ended up selling the Star Wars Pops that I had and I never looked back. How did you start collecting? So my son, he's gonna be 7 now, my oldest one. We went into an FYE together and this was in 2016. He was too 2-year-old baby, almost 3, and he asked for Superman and Batman 2-pack that FYE had. And again, if I buy something, I usually like to complete it. So I remember picking up like 6 or 7 different Pops for him and for him to play. It wasn't collecting wasn't in my mind at all. So we picked up those DC Pops, and I guess that's how, well, that's not how I started collecting per se, but that's how I bought my first Pops. And then I remember seeing on Amazon when I was making his room of Toy Story, I remember seeing Big Hero 6, he was obsessed. So I got him all the Big Hero 6 Pops. Then, this was in 2016. Then for Toy Story, I got him Ham and Rex and Woody and Buzz for his room. And I remember decorating his room with them. And Star Wars, in 2015, I got him Star Wars Pops. So I guess 2015 was the first time I bought Pops, actually, as I was. 2015, it was the first time I got Star Wars Pops. Collecting, I guess I went into Facebook Marketplace and saw that someone was selling Dobby, a 10-inch Dobby, and I didn't know these were at Target available. So I bought it through Facebook Marketplace, paid way retail for it for no freaking reason. And I saw that there was a whole community of people like collecting and posting pictures of their collections, and they look so neat, even the ones inside the box. Actually, when I first started posting pictures of my Pops outside the box, a lot of people would get mad at me. This was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. People would leave nasty comments like, how dare you do whatever you want with your own pieces of plastic and collection. Like, these are things that I bought. I can do whatever I want with them. People would get mad. But, you know, it was funny, fun times. Not everyone collects outside the box, and we all appreciate the details in our Pops, and it's beautiful. But, you know, back then, how did I start collecting? Yeah, I saw that there was people doing it, and it was exciting. So I created an Instagram. I had my personal one, and I created an Instagram just to talk about Pops. And I remember talking about finding these Pops in Amazon versus buying them at FYE in my personal Instagram, and everyone was like, we don't care. Why are you talking about toys? I was like, no, I gotta find people to understand how exciting this is. And that's how I created this Instagram, and it's been quite the ride. I love sharing my collection with you guys. Let me see. Which is your favorite Harry Potter book, and which is your favorite Harry Potter film? The book is Half-Blood Prince because it was the one that introduced me to the books. I was assigned to read that one summer in school, and then I had to read the rest. And the film, I think it's Prisoner of Azkaban. I like that movie a lot. I love them all. I've been watching them all again, and it's like so exciting, except freaking Umbridge. I don't like her. It says, do you like Disney or Harry Potter better? It's Harry Potter, it's my childhood, my dad, it's tradition. Disney, I'm obsessed. It's like my kids, I love buying them. The Disney movies, watching them together is Disney magic. So I don't think you can make me choose. It's not fair. I would not choose. Why didn't you build a Lego castle yourself? I have one and I loved every second of building it. Man, that's awesome that you love building it. I do not enjoy building Legos. My husband loves building Legos. He will sit there and focus and do it, and he enjoys that a lot. So I think it was a great way to mix our hobbies. I would display it after you build it, and that's something we do as a team. Ta-da! So he did it, he built it, and he enjoyed it. So it was a win-win situation because you do it, I'll display it, we'll win. What is your job like in the military? It's a very cool job. I love my job, and yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Pops are not cheap. What is your job, if you don't mind me asking? Love your collection, by the way. Thank you for loving my collection. Pops definitely are not cheap if you buy a lot of the second market Pops. I think if you were to compare it with like Hot Toys or other figures that are like $300 a piece, Pops are like $9 or $10 if you buy them on sale. So being cheap is a relative thing. It's perspective. I didn't bought my whole collection in one day. That's the only thing I can say. Like, you spend years or months or maybe a year buying different pops, find them on sale, buy them outside the box if you collect outside the box, sell different stuff around your house and use that money to focus on your collection. That's the best advice I can give. Just focus on one thing instead of trying to buy 1,000 different lines, and that way you can just grow one collection that you actually enjoy. And don't try to keep up with the masses or the hype. Some products sold out and people sell them for $50 or $60 more, and in reality, when the hype dies down, the product will cost retail or a little bit more than retail. But do not buy in eBay at the price flippers are asking right away, because it's not usually how the value will stay. Let me see. What was your first Funko Pop? I do have it here. I think this was one of the first ones that I got. As you can see, I got it for my son because he was obsessed with superheroes. So it was 2016, I think. what did we talk about? 2015, me getting, I don't know. I think this was one, maybe 2015 or 16. He was obsessed with the Pops. So yeah, I found him on a toy box he has upstairs. It's like, I'm gonna show that one. We need a complete Harry Potter collection video. Yes, I'm gonna give you as soon as I can. Do you have a monthly budget, or do you just buy whatever you want? We sat and we figured out a budget for my collecting habits, because I buy whatever I want most of the time, and it gets out of hand sometimes. So yes, best advice, set a budget, stick to it, may the odds be ever in your favor. I'm never able to stick to it, it's bad. Let me see. What is your most expensive, yeah. What made you start collecting Pops? My son. Do you have all the 90th anniversary Mickeys? I don't. I'm missing a Steamboat Willie, the new version of it. I am missing the Plain Crazy. I am missing the black and white 10-inch Target exclusive. These are Pops that I used to have, and they either broke or I sold them forward. The Plain Crazy broke, his legs broke, the Steamboat Willie broke twice. I was like, it's fine, I don't need another Mickey in my collection. Maybe we'll get them eventually. And the black and white Mickey was the same one as the colored Mickey. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep the color one for space purposes. So there's that. And what is the most rewarding thing about being a Pop collecting mother? I think seeing the kids play with them, and I love when they come down here and they are watching the movie and playing with the Pops at the same time. But I think as a mom, it's not only about the Pops. My heart melts over them just bonding. So them using the Pops as an activity to bond with each other, have some time with me, and they help me rearrange and help me put the boxes away. It's nice. I think being a mom, for whoever is the parent here knows, it's super exhausting. So it's like a little rewarding moment that we have together, and it makes everything worth it. So I think I answered most of the questions, all of them that were not repeated. And thank you so much for sending your questions. And I'm probably gonna do that, I don't know, every 6 months or once a year. Just sit here and answer the questions. As always, if you have any question about collecting or about Pops or where to find different replicas, just send me a message. I'm on Instagram, GeoJammies. And thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed, you guys. Bye-bye.